Sorry.
Oh. Hello world. We are live. Let's make sure we're going live in this other event. Bum, bum, bum. Happy Monday to everyone.
Happy Monday.
We're here with wonderful Linda Lingo to teach us how, to live life with intention. So it'll be a great.
And believe me, you want to live Linda's life. Linda has a life. And we were talking about her doing her hike, and she said, yeah, I just live my life with intention. And she's going to share how she does it, because you've got it going on.
Oh, thank you. I love my life.
Yeah, and it's important. And it's important too, Linda, because, you don't get to our age without hitting some bumps in the road, whatever that might be, divorce, death of a spouse, who knows? Children are always kind of a, wild hair. You never know what you're going to get. But ultimately, we are in charge of our own intentions around where you want to go and be in our retirement. And I think this topic is so important, especially for this group, because, it's a 50 and fabulous group and totally a life redesigned. Yeah. And so let's redesign it in the way that we are putting ourselves first. One of the mottos for Purse Strings is, you come first. So often women put themselves second, third, fourth, or I had a friend who said they put their son-in-law through law school and now their kids are getting divorced.
Oh.
So I thought, wow, so many families or moms sometimes will really support their children far beyond what was necessary. And, it impacts their retirement. It impacts their ability to have their own good financial future. So part of what we do here at Purse Strings is we're here every Monday. We're here to share these amazing resources, what we call Purse Strings approved professionals, like Linda. Linda is a financial coach / I call her our money coach. And what she does is she really helps women, all walks of life, because I know you've worked with some younger women who are trying to get their finances in order, and you've worked with some retired women who are trying to determine how to get their distributions the best way possible and how to live the life they want to live on their retirement income. So Purse Strings provides tools and resources for women. You can go to pursestrings.co and learn what you need to know to make smart financial decisions for yourself and for your family, and then reach out to some of our Purse Strings approved professionals to see what it is you need. We have realtors, lenders, attorneys, we have financial advisors, financial planners, and we have Linda Lingo, who's our financial money coach. So we're here for you. We're here for all women, so that all women can live a life of being financially fearless.
Absolutely. Yep.
Yeah.
I'm just making sure all this is working on my end, because it seems a little funky funks, but we'll see what's going on here.
Maggie's, I always call her our pilot over here, navigating everything, make sure we're properly flying and then properly landing. So,
yep.
How's it looking out there?
We are getting there step by step.
Good.
Step.
Yeah. Speaking of step by step, what we do is we record this session. So if you're listening to it and you want a friend to listen to it, it's going to be up in the Facebook group that you're in currently. It's also going to be on YouTube. And we also put together just a one-page handout, which will have the salient points that Linda provides, as well as any next steps you might want to take, and also her contact information if you want to reach out directly to Linda. So you can reach out, and I know you offer a free consultation, right, Linda?
Yes, a free 20-minute consultation to anybody who wants to. They can go to lindalingo.com, contact me, and my calendar's right there. It's really easy to schedule, and I'll love to talk with them.
Yeah, great.
Awesome. All right, I think we're flying over here.
Okay, good.
That's why we have replays, while we're live. Just keep shooting. So while we have some people jumping on, I think we should just get started.
Yeah.
Sure. Let me give an intro to Linda. So like Barb said, Linda is our money coach. And she works to empower women with strategies for a successful, stress-free approach to money. Through inspiration and education, she guides women to clarity and confidence in their finances so they can spend less, save more, budget, invest wisely, build wealth, and live the life they desire, which is exactly what we're talking about today. So with that, I'll give you the floor, Linda. Anyone watching, please feel free to comment, ask questions, anything throughout. We're here for you guys. So let's get started.
Let's do it.
Good morning. Welcome, everybody. It's early for me. I'm on the West Coast, but I know some of you are, already having your second, third cup of coffee. So thank you for joining us. I am really excited, Fabulous 50, Life Redesigned, because that's me. And so I wanted to share my story with you and also encourage you that it's never too late to live the life you desire. And how do we do that? Through intention. Intention is actually my favorite new word, but it takes dedication, setting priorities, and being committed to yourself. So many times we don't take time for ourselves. We're busy being mom and wife. We're taking care of the kids, or we're taking care of our parents. We're still trying to work. We're taking care of the kids, and so we don't take time for ourselves. I challenge you this morning to set aside some time for yourself. I'll share with you, after my gray divorce, I promised myself that I would live my life boldly, freely, and joyfully, because I was in the same boat many of you are in. I never took time for myself, time for yourself, because I know sometimes it takes a life event to actually give us an opportunity to rethink the life that we would love to live. And so this is a time for you to think about, what do you want? So guess what? The first step has nothing to do with money. I am going to encourage you to dream. That's right, dream. When was the last time you took time to dream for yourself? Not for what your kids thought you should be doing or what your partner thinks you should be doing, but what you want. And you know what? Sometimes we haven't done that, and so we really don't know what we want. So I want to give you a few questions to be highly recommended again. But I want you to have a pen and paper handy. So get a pen and paper right now, because I'm going to give you some questions that I want you to really take time to think about. You can jot down a quick answer now if you want to take time to journal more in depth afterwards. And here we go. So like I said, the first step is to dream. I want you to ask yourself is, where are you? Where do you want to be? What does that look like for you? So some of us are ocean people. Some of us enjoy the mountains. Other people prefer the desert where it's warm most of the time. Maybe you don't want a house. Maybe you want to live in an RV, like a client of mine. She and her husband actually lived in an RV for 10 years, loved it. Not for me, but they loved it. So think about, where do you want to live? Number 2, who are you with? Or are you solo? It's okay to think about that, because we are the people that we surround ourselves with. So who do you want to be with? Who are your peeps? Who are the people that bring you joy, that make you laugh, that will listen to you? Who do you want to be with? What are you doing? Now, this can involve a lot of different things, But some of the things that I thought about were, are you going to be working? Are you going to be retired or semi-retired? You get to choose. You don't have to, retirement is not a drop dead date. It can be a transition. What else do you want to be doing? Do you want to volunteer for that organization you never had time to when you were working full time? Are there hobbies that you want to learn? For me, I've got pickleball on my list. I haven't had time to do it yet, but I am going to make time. And so that's one of the things on my list. I love to travel. Traveling is maybe something you enjoy doing. I know when I'm coaching women, the first 10 years of retirement, usually 60s, early 70s, that's when people tend to retire. Our health is good. So maybe traveling is something you want to do. But what do you want to do? Not your partner, not somebody else, but what do you want to be doing? Dream. And don't confine yourself to a box. Go outside. Dream big. And then what brings you joy? Have you ever stopped to think about that? What brings you joy? I'm wearing this intentionally. It brings me joy. I bought it in France. I love France. I think I'm a Frenchie at heart. I love it when I wear this top because it reminds me of a great trip, wonderful women that I was with, and just a wonderful time. I love my mug. Okay, so this is simple. I love my mug. It brings me joy. I have my coffee in it every morning, and I think about how much joy this cup brings me. Aha was when you were journaling. Whether you leave it in the comments now or whether you leave it in the comments later when you listen to this replay, tell me, what is your biggest aha when you were journaling about your dream, how you want to live your life in the future? That's step one. If there's any questions, love to hear them, but I'm going to keep going until Maggie interrupts me. So the second step is, now you knew it, there had to be some money involved in this coach, a money coach. Take inventory. You need to know where you are right now, where your beginning point is in order to plan for the future. So take inventory. So what does that mean? It means, what are your current income and expenses? Where are you financially right now? If you haven't been keeping track of your expenses, if you don't have a budget, now is a perfect time to start. So what are your current income and expenses? How much have you saved for retirement? Now's the time to pull those statements, or at least pull them up online and take a look at your 401k, because maybe you haven't looked at them in quite a while. So take a look at how much have you saved for retirement. And then pull together what I call a P&L, a personal P&L, or a net worth statement. And it's really a fancy word for saying, list everything you own and everything you, and along with that, you want to have maybe a spreadsheet of any debt you have, credit card, mortgage, paying on your student loans. List all of that in a spreadsheet. Put who you owe, how much, what the interest rate is, what your monthly payment is, and what the balance is, so that you can combine that with what you own versus what you owe and know what your net worth is. This is really important so that you have a very good starting point of where you're at. Okay, that's taking inventory. But that's only the first part, and the actual part, which of course I had to have some, money in here. But then going on to the next one is, I want you to take inventory of what you currently enjoy doing. Do you enjoy your work? Do you enjoy hobbies? Do you enjoy spending time with the grandkids? What do you enjoy doing? And then I want to take a look at current friends that you really enjoy. Are there family members that you share what my life looks like now? I can tell you what it looked like before, and it was completely different. But who do you enjoy being around? And then, and this is really important, how is your health? Health. Are you taking care of yourself? Because you know what? We only get one body, and we need to take care of ourselves. Nobody else is going to do it for us. So are you sleeping well? Are you eating well? Are you taking time to exercise? This is no shame and guilt or judgment. I want you to ask yourself these questions, because you need to know what your health is like now so that you can help plan for in the future what makes sense for you health-wise as well. That's taking inventory currently. And then step 3 is plan your future. Because like I said before, a wish without a plan is just a dream. So let's go beyond dreaming now and let's make it a reality. So how do we do that? Well, step 1 is, what income do you need to live the life you desire? How do you figure that out? Well, you do some research, and this takes time and effort. I'm not saying this is just a one-off. This takes some time. So if you decided, I'm living, I want to relocate to a completely different city because my grandkids live there. Then you need to do some research. What is the cost of housing, utilities? What does it cost to live there? And then figure out, what are you going to be doing? Are you going to transition into retirement? So you're going to be working part-time. You're still going to have some income, or nope, I've saved enough. I can retire. I can leave my job. Or maybe some of you are relocating for jobs. So you're going to continue to have income. And that's step 2. Is there an income gap? So you know what your income are going to be in the future. And is there a gap? So how are you going to fill that? Are you going to continue working? Are you going to cut back on your expenses so you can save more right now, or maybe cut back in your expenses in the future? Take a look at how you're going to fill that gap. When do you intend change? So for some of you, you may have to relocate suddenly. Well, then you don't have a whole time to adjust. But for some of us, we can say, I'm going to retire in 5 years. I've got time to adjust my savings, to adjust my spending. And so there's some time to adjust to the life I want to live, where I want to live it. And then to spend time with, like we've talked about several times, the people we surround ourselves with is critical. So think about that. Do you want to live closer to your grandkids? Do you want to live closer to your siblings? Or maybe you just want to take it on the road, travel, and see them intermittently. And then how do you want time? What do you want to be doing? Like I've said, do you want to volunteer? Do you want to do more traveling? Do you want to do more activities? Maybe you just want to, take time to read. I know this summer I actually formed a book club because I found I was reading for business, but not very much for pleasure. So I formed a book club, and I love the books for reading. And I've given myself permission just to read for me. I just finished the book. It's called The Last Thing He Told Me. Oh my gosh, page turner. I could not put that thing down. I was up until 2 a.m. Awesome. But you know what? I gave myself permission to do that. It was fun. It gave me joy. So how do you want to 3-step process? It does take time and commitment. And I want to grant you permission. I want you to grant yourself permission to take time. It's not selfish. It's critical for the life that we want to live. So I told you at the beginning that I am going to share with you the life that I live. What does my life look like now? Well, like I said, it's completely different. So I was a CPA. I was actually bi-coastal. So I worked in California, but I flew to New York City every other week. Crazy schedule. Sorry, I got hair in my mouth. Totally burned out. It was bizarre. It was stressful on my marriage. It was stressful on my kids. It was stressful on me. But, I was a corporate woman. I sucked it up because that's what we did. Not only that, and so after 40 years of marriage, I got a divorce. I got a great divorce. This was really life changing reasons, and I don't admit this very often, so here, true confession. One of the reasons I stayed in my marriage was because of the money. I had planned our retirement. I knew our numbers. I knew what we were going to be living on. I knew the life we could lead. It was amazing. I decided I was more important than the money. And I got a divorce. I couldn't handle the verbal abuse anymore. Verbal abuse doesn't leave any physical signs. It leaves a lot of emotional signs. I have never felt more joyful. I've never felt freer. I have never felt more me than when I got out of that marriage. Anyway, all that to say, the great divorce gave me an opportunity to dream, to take inventory, to live a life completely different. So what am I doing now? I'm relocated. I bought a house right next door to my grandkids. And I mean, right next door. There's actually a gate between our fence that goes fence our two houses. I love it. I live next door to the grandkids. I get to spend time with them. I see them almost daily, but I'm still working. I'm a financial coach. I set the hours I choose to work. So I'm very intentional on when and who I work with. I love what I travel almost monthly. Travel is my passion. So I have a trip or at least a long weekend planned almost every month. The summer's been kind of crazy. I was in Hawaii for 2 weeks, Sedona for 5 weeks with girlfriends. Just got back from a road trip to Southern California for 2 weeks. Anyway, traveling is my passion. You can see that on Instagram. I often show pictures of where I am, and family and friends relationships are very important to me. So how do I manage that? Well, I connect with them often, and I also see them on my travels quite often. And I love staying in touch. I have a brother and 3 sisters. I'm the 4th. Anyway, and folks, so that's why I'm going to South Dakota to see them. But I love family and friends, and I'm very intentional with who I stay connected with because I want to make sure they're giving me good juice, and I'm giving it back to them. So relationships are very important. So what does your adventure look like? How are you going to live the rest of your life with intention and joyfully? Joyfully. Without joy, oh my gosh, life is so dull. You can take a look at my blog. It's on lindalingo.com/blog. And I also made some YouTube videos. I have a YouTube channel, and I'll be putting those videos up very similar to this. And of course, you can listen to this replay. But if there's any questions, love to field them. Maggie, that's what I have. And anyway, it's been a joy presenting to you women this morning.
I love that it's been a joy and we're choosing joy. It's fantastic.
Thank you.
I'm sorry for anyone listening that was a little laggy at some points. I'm not quite sure why. It's frustrating, but it's so funny that you say choose joy because that's something Barbara and I always talk about. I actually have a necklace she gave me that just says choose joy because we always want to just remember to do that. Yeah. And so, because, it's so important and we can get so caught up, in that corporate life that we're told to follow. That's really not what you want to do. And some people want to do it. That's great. And I think a lot of people discovered during COVID some of those things of what they love to do and what's most important. So I love that. Let me see if some questions are coming in. Otherwise, Linda, I have a question about your hobbies.
Yeah.
how do you come up with a list of hobbies you want to try? Are you just super out there and creative, or I mean, maybe a little?
Well, first of all, I'm older than you, so I've had a lot of life events. So I love, I think it's just, life events. I think I've been exposed to a lot, so that definitely helps. Talking to my friends. I have friends all over the country, actually all over the world, but just talking to them what they're enjoying and reading. Yeah. I think it's just a lot of different things. I don't watch a lot of TV,
Mhm.
so that doesn't inspire me at all. But I would say talking to, and then what I've experienced. One of my friends is an avid pickleball person. She says, "Oh, you got to at least try it." And as I've talked about it, I get, people like, "Yes, pickleball. Oh my gosh!" And then, anyway, so it's fun. Hiking. I love to hike. My partner likes to hike, so I put a picture up this weekend. We hiked up Mary's Peak, which is the biggest peak around here, and where I live in Oregon. So that was pretty fun. And active. I like to stay active. I think that's the other thing, Maggie. I guess drinking wine isn't really active except for elbow, but I get out walking every day. I love nature. I think that's the other thing. I really enjoy nature. So I think it's taking time. I think it's slowing down, which maybe, I don't know if COVID helped us do that or not, but it's slowing down and really seeing what brings you joy, nature, beauty. Anyway,
I definitely
and
feel
food,
that just
good
being,
food.
yeah, but some fresh air, some sunshine, it always does good things.
Yep.
And then I just really wanted to reiterate kind of that point of there's some people that you realize you just kind of outgrew, or they don't bring you joy anymore, which is always kind of weird to like not cut off a friend, but you just kind of outgrow them and kind of fade away because that you're kind of vibrating higher and that's bringing you down. So it's not wrong to do. It happens.
No. And I think that's a really good point, Maggie, because, I believe that some people are in our lives for a season. And then it's okay to let them go. You can do it gracefully. It's not something that usually, have to cut off. And some people are in our lives for a long time. I have girlfriends that I've known, well, obviously since high school, but also I would say my three best friends are from over the last, probably 40 years. And so you do, and you learn that with those that are here for a season, you're meant to help each other, and you're in their life for a season too. And I think I believe in lifting each other up, whether it's girlfriends, whether it's our family, or whether it's women that I coach.
Yeah.
And that's one of the reasons why I started Women Own Wednesdays is, let's lift each other up, whether it's in business or personal, and be there to encourage each other.
Yeah, everyone has to follow your Women Owned Wednesday. I'll pop the link into your blog after this and to your Instagram, because that one's it's so fun to see. I know you just started that. So
thank you.
Let's see what Barb has to say here.
Yeah. Well, I loved everything about this, right? and I think most importantly is how often, like you started out, how often do we get to sit back and really say, what is it that I want for the next 10, 20, 30, 40 years, whatever it might be. And, I think about that question a lot. And sometimes I don't really know if I really gave myself enough time to really think it through. There's some things I want to do. And I was just thinking, I should just put a big one wall as a whiteboard in my office. I should just write a list of things that I want to do at some point, my bucket list, right? And start planning to do it instead of just saying, oh, someday we're going to do X, and really taking stock of what you want to do and how you're going to get there.
Absolutely. You do have to have a plan together, because otherwise it's not going to happen. Clarity gives you power. And power gives you the wherewithal to do it. One of my bucket list items was I wanted to visit all the national parks. And so, that's a nice, goal. But without specific steps, we call them SMART goals, it's not going to happen. So every year I have on my list the national parks I'm going to visit. So even last year during COVID, I went to Utah. And I visit all 5 national parks. That's where I got to glamp. Oh my God, if you haven't glamped, you have to do that.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's definitely being intentional. This year, actually this fall, I can't wait. We're taking a drive through New England in the fall to see the fall colors, but Acadia National Park is in Maine, and that is the first place we're going. So super jazzed about that. But yes, you're right. If you could see my board, some people call it a vision board, but yeah, got all that stuff. Some of it's more delineated than others, but Barbara, I think you have a great point, and that's why I journal, and it's writing it down and then kind of letting it resonate.
Mm-hmm.
Does that resonate with you? Is that in alignment with your values, with where you want to be? Does it give you joy? I mean, you'll feel a heaviness if something isn't quite right. If you gave yourself time to kind of sit with it. But I love, one of the things I have here is kind of my, I don't know what I call it, but anyway, the way I live my life, I guess. And at the end it says, take risks, don't look back.
I love
that. That's, I'm just encouraging you women. And it's not easy. I'm not saying this is easy. Good grief. Going through a divorce was like the worst thing I've ever had to experience. But now that I'm on the other side, it was the best thing that ever happened to me. So I think we have to seize opportunities that may not seem like opportunities at the time. And maybe you're not going through a life. Maybe you're here and you're the majority, 54 to 64, and you're like, hey, my life's good.
Yeah.
I just want to retire. You can still use this 3-step process to plan the retirement that you want to experience. Because like I said, life happens to us. So don't let it happen. Let's be intentional and make sure it's the life we want, because we do not know how many days we have on this earth.
Right.
I just got horrible news. My cousin's husband just passed away from COVID, totally unexpected. Another young friend, her husband was in a motorcycle accident, left her with 2 young 12-day-old baby, super young. You don't know when life is going to end.
Yes.
So let's not have regrets. Let's
live it up.
Live the life we desire with purpose and intention. You can't tell I'm excited.
I love it. I love it. No more of this, oh, I could never, oh, not me, or I can't, I don't have the money, I don't have the time, I don't have the whatever. No, you know what? Figure it out, because you do.
And we got resources for that. And we got resources for that. You don't have to
get resources for that.
I mean, sometimes you just need somebody like a Linda Lingo. Sometimes you just need a friend to talk to. Sometimes you just need to talk out loud and just let it all come out. So don't feel like you're alone on this journey. That's why Linda's here. And so you can always reach Linda at lindalingo.com. She's also one of our financial professionals, our Purse Strings approved professionals. And so you can reach out to her from the Purse Strings website, pursestrings.co. We'll have the recording posted, and we'll have the handout tomorrow. And we just want to know what everyone's new goals are going to be.
Yeah.
I'm excited.
Yeah.
Yep.
Thank you so much, Linda. Yeah, sure. You always bring so much positive juju to the group, Linda. So thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Ladies, I love what you do. Bye-bye.